Okay, so I'm just gonna briefly discuss this. As far as friendship failures, yes, another friendship issue topic. It just seems like almost every day I'm doing a friendship issue topic, and I know that's not supposed to be what I'm doing. I'm trying to, provide as much as possible different topics, different kind of content. You know what I'm saying? Different. And to my credit, I've had that stretch sometime in October, even in November and December. But ever since that ugly incident happened on the night of January 9th at home, which to me it still makes me seemingly like I'm seemingly traumatized by it, because of the fact that I had to distance myself from my entire household, the rest of my household. It's like I just feel like things are never gonna get better, but I'm not gonna go into that. I know it's already been enough of a suffering that all the guys in the group chats, all my remaining friends, that is, who are getting fed up just seeing me blow up their phones every single day with whatever nonsense that for some reason I just drop in there, right? It's getting to that point. Like almost every day it's been like that. But let me just get into this. So yes, I've had a whole ton of friendship failures. There's no question about that. As bad as my failures are with a lot of these ex-close friends, even guys like Christine and Pearl Jane, Juan from high school, Juan Andrade, Angelique, Rhea, Griza, Jessica. I can name a whole bunch, but when it comes to friendship failures, who I failed the most are these three that you see on the collage. Yes, Julio, Robbie, and Tristan. I could have dropped Andrew in there if I wanted to, but Andrew and I, as close as we were, we didn't hang out very much, and our friendship was not as very strong as it was with as my friendships were with these three, because I've known these three for quite some time, as far as ex close friends is concerned. I've known these guys going back to my school days, and so it's no question that I already developed a stronger chemistry with these guys, a stronger friendship bond, to where, yes, including a lot of hangouts that we did, and yes, including at least one travel. Even though I traveled with Julio and Robbie a couple of times already, right? So in terms of friendship failures, as bad as all my friendship failures were with all my ex-close friends, it's these guys I failed the most. Let me tell you why. These guys have given me a whole lot of criticisms, going back to the early years, right? Just even at the time that me and Julio reunited our friendship, or reunited to where we developed our friendship from there, our close friendship. These guys have criticized me or given me a whole lot of criticisms, and a lot of them were rightful criticisms, because at that time, I wasn't aware of my own surroundings, and just, at that time, I'm just trying to gain a better understanding of life and what they went through, and, how they succeed and how they have the mentality of, as far as how they better their lives, their social lives, their academic lives and what have you. So based on these guys' stories, it motivated me. I mean, I don't want to say I'm jealous, but their success is a lot, a lot more accomplished than my kind of success, right? So look, the reason why I say that I failed these guys the most is because they've given me not only so many criticisms, but also a lot of advice, and look, to their credit, a lot of their advice has gotten me to where I'm at now, right? To where I'm at in my life, and props to them for making me into a much better version of me, in the later years, than I was prior, right? Like when we first met, or in the case of Julio, when we first reunited. I think after hold on for a second. Yeah, I think after Julio and I reunited our friendship, it's I keep saying reunited our friendship. No, after me and Julio reunited in 2010 to where we developed our friendship, that's when I started, like, with his advice and the stories that he told me of how he's succeeding in life, how he made the most of his life. To top it off with Tristan's success and how he makes the most of his life. This is when I started to become more motivated, and that's when they already turned me into a much better version of me, going to the later years than I was before Julio got into the picture, right? So look, it's a blessing to have these guys around, especially if they were former nutballers, or I should just say a former group known as the Nutballers. And in the end, I gotta thank them, man. I gotta thank them for what they've done to get me to where I'm at, to how my better years had been, like in the later 2010s, before everything started to fall apart for me in the 2020s. But for the most part, it's just unfortunate that I saw these failures just being like the biggest to me, the biggest friendship failures I've had, with Robbie and Julio and the Tristan, you know what I'm saying? So it's as bad as my failures were with the other ones, I think that these ones I failed the most because of how they got me through in life, and to where I was, being the better version of me, and and especially with a bunch of hangouts that we've had together and all the ups and downs we've been through together. But it is what it is, man. Tell me what you guys think, man. I'll see you guys later. Thank you for watching, everyone. Like, share, and subscribe.